Also, Victor, every time you say hello, it sounds exactly the same.
Hello.
No, the way you say hello, like that
Hello.
one. Yeah, that one. It always sounds the same.
It's yeah, you're very very similar.
That's good. People say that about me when I say hey. I just go hey
I mean, that's
every
like,
single time.
hey, at least now you have you're able to be identified by like one of the most common sayings in the English language, right? All right. Hello everybody and welcome back to the It's Pizza Time podcast. I'm your host iNDiGO. Today I'm joined by my co-host Eswyn.
Hello?
My co-host is Victor.
Hello.
And our very special guest, SHWIRL.
Hey.
Nice. Hey, really. I'm
I
like,
told you.
yeah. Now that I'm hearing it, I'm like, yeah, that's SHWIRL. All right. Yeah, we're not gonna give any context to that. All right. Let's. So, I guess for everybody who doesn't know who or what SHWIRL is, would you like to give like a little bit of a brief?
Yeah, I'll do that. So my name's Swirl, my name's James, and my producer name is Swirl. I'm 20 years old. I go to college, and I produce for fun. And sometimes I'll make a good song. Sometimes I won't, but I don't know. Last year, I guess my most proud accomplishment was having a release on bitbird. I guess technically two, because I had one with Skygate as well. But yeah, that's me.
That was like probably the most down to earth like explanation to who someone is that we've like ever had.
Really?
I just sometimes I make good music, sometimes it's I don't.
It's very humble.
I don't
bomb
like to
explanation.
talk myself up, so I guess. But yeah, that's
I
who
mean,
I am.
That's a good quality to have, you know? You never want to be
It's
like,
respectable.
yeah, 100%. All right, I guess we'll move straight into the precursor question, being the one question we ask everybody here, being, what is your favorite kind of pizza?
Ooh, okay. I have a story for this one. So basically, this was a long time ago, actually, several years when I was like 14, maybe. I don't remember, maybe 13. But so I went up to my uncle's house in Oregon, and his neighbors were relatively like wealthy, so they had this big ass pizza oven, wood fired pizza oven in their backyard. And then they invited us and a bunch of other people over to their house one night for like this big pizza party. And they had like this huge ass table of toppings, like more than you'd see at like a restaurant or whatever. I don't know. It was crazy. It was like they were basically running a restaurant there. And so you could just make your own like little pizza. But that night I had like this horrible stomach ache. And so I was just staring at this pizza and all these people eating, and all my brothers and my family were there eating this pizza, and they were telling me how good it was. But I had this terrible stomach ache, like I felt like I was gonna vomit that night. But I was like, God damn, this looks so good. So I just was like, fuck it. So I just made my own pizza while I felt like shit, and I just started eating it. I was like, I didn't feel good like at all, but this pizza was so good, I just couldn't stop eating it, and so I had to. It was I don't even remember what was on the pizza, but I just remember it was the best pizza I'd ever eaten, and I just because like I cooked it in that wood fired pizza oven for like it only took like 90 seconds for it to cook. It was so hot, but yeah, that was
Gotta
it.
love like
That was the best pizza.
Oregon backyard,
Yeah,
homegrown.
I haven't had
pizza.
a better pizza since then.
That sounds like really crazy. It also sounds like a huge flex to have a pizza oven in your backyard.
Yeah,
Like, we couldn't fit it in our actual house.
I've been wanting to build one of those things in my backyard ever since, because you can actually make really good pizzas in those things. And if you make one that's like big that can like hold a ton of heat, you can get it like really hot and it cooks the pizza. It literally cooks them in 90 seconds. Like that's not a joke. I don't know, but yeah.
That's always like the fucking. That's always what you want. You always like want fucking something that could cook in like a good amount of time, but like actually cook it through and not just burn it.
It's basically a microwave, but not shitty.
Yeah, basically a microwave, but it doesn't leave it like sad after, like, you know, you don't like feel bad about eating it. Like, you know, it's fucking. I don't like fucking who came up with the microwave? It's like, yeah, I want something that reheats my food, but it just kind of loses, you know, itself while it's in there.
It loses itself.
With the taste. Just, like,
I am
disappears.
no longer.
It's like fucking you get like a fucking sandwich from, I don't know, I get like a meatball sub from somewhere, and then I put it in the fridge for later and I put it back in the microwave and it comes out and it's just this sad like husk of what it used to be. It's no longer.
I'm just imagining like a meatball sub and you put it in a microwave and when you take it out it's just kind of like a pile of mush.
It's kind.
Like
I mean, it's kind of like what it is. It's like
Just
aged.
frowning at you.
It's like a microwave isn't actually. It doesn't cook it. It cooks it, but it also ages it by like 8 years.
I can't even.
You're wording this like microwaves are like a crime against humanity. Like they're pretty handy.
They're handy, but like they're handy for making like a frozen food because it's like you're meant to put it in the microwave. If it's meant to be put in the microwave, it's good. But if you don't, if it's not meant, if it's like leftovers, it's always like not as good every time.
Some leftovers
you reheat it.
work, some don't. Like pizza doesn't because it's not crunchy anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just makes everything soft and sad.
And just like infinitely greasier than it used to be. Somehow.
I wish there was like a microwave, but the opposite, where it just made things cold really fast. I feel like that would be convenient.
That's what good is for, right?
Isn't that what a blast freezer is?
Those exist?
Yeah, isn't that? I remember like I don't know much, but I remember like when my sister was younger, she would always watch like Food Network shows, and I remember there was like something called a blast freezer. I remember that. That was cool. I was like, that sounds
one of those.
That's like,
because sometimes like, okay, you talk.
No, I was gonna say it's like I hate when I like put something in the microwave and then it's like put it in there for like I think it's like maybe it's like it needs another 30 seconds and I pull it out and it's fucking like sizzling and steaming and shit, and it's like if it's a fire hazard at that point, and I'm like, I can't cool you down. I either have to just leave you out or like stick you in the freezer, and if I stick you in the freezer I'll probably just forget about it until it's frozen.
No lie, I was just searching up. They're so expensive. Like you could buy a car instead of this.
How
Like
much
it ranges
is a
from like
blast freezer?
5,000 to like 10, 15K.
What? How big is a blast freezer? How big is it?
It looks pretty big. This could be just for restaurants, but
Like a walk-in freezer?
No, they're tiny too. I mean, they're not that big, but like a dishwasher.
It'd be so nice though, because I don't know about you guys, but I drink a ton of coffee and sometimes like tea, and so sometimes I want it cold, because I mean I live in Arizona, so it can get pretty damn hot here in the summer. So like sometimes some iced coffee's nice. I don't know. It'd be nice to have something that could just instantly make it cold.
Ice.
No,
Yeah, but that drowns out the flavor.
No, you're right. No, but you know what? So pour coffee into the ice cube tray, freeze it, and then
I was gonna say like some people do that. They like
problem,
make
though-
coffee ice cubes.
The problem with that though is that I can't plan ahead like that. Like I need the coffee now. It needs to happen now.
Yeah,
Make
this is why you
coffee
plan
ice
for the
cubes and
future.
just have them.
yeah.
It's like some people use they take grapes and freeze them, and they use those to cool down wine. Apparently.
That's actually really smart.
That's
Oh my god, I want to do that.
that sounds like interesting though.
I've actually seen like metal ice cubes. Like I don't know, they get this. I don't know how they make them, but they're just like the outside of it is just metal, so it doesn't actually water your stuff down. But you just put it in the freezer and it gets really cold, and it's like a ice cube, I guess.
They're like these fake, like they're also like plastic ones where it's just like there's like I guess there's liquid enough in it that like it can freeze without like bursting, and then fucking you freeze that, so the liquid inside is frozen, but the outside is plastic, so it's not gonna like melt in your drink, which is kind of nuts. But that just means you have to put fucking ice cubes in the dishwasher every once in a while. How the fuck does that work?
I have a vivid image of you, and you specifically, just like really disgruntled after like a long day. You're just getting home, and then you just go, "Fuck, I gotta put the ice cubes in the dishwasher." And then, but it's not the plastic ones. You just go into the freezer, grab like the real ice cubes, throw open the dishwasher, and just dump it all in there. And it's just ice cubes everywhere.
Man, I wish to like the minute I have to like worry about putting ice cubes in the dishwasher is like the minute I'm set for life.
Yeah.
You think like if I have to worry about putting ice cubes in the dishwasher, real or fake? It's like either I'm fake ice cubes. Either I'm like wealthy enough to own fake ice cubes and put them in a dishwasher.
What the fuck is a fake ice cube?
Like
we just talked
we were talking about that, Victor.
But like, why? Like, why would you own fake ice cubes?
That's what I'm saying. Like you would have to be like wealthy enough to like have to own it. Or if I'm putting real ice cubes in the dishwasher, I've like suffering some sort of like mental illness that I need to be taken care of. So like either way, I'm set.
Mentally just checked out completely.
I'm just like completely senile at that point, and I like
You just don't care anymore.
Yeah, it's like I'm just dude. I can. People are taking care of me now, and my life is just set. All I have to do is just like be alive, and that's my life now.
Just exist.
Yeah,
And wash my ice cubes.
You know what is cool though? It's like those trays that like make them look like diamonds. Those are sick. I'm just looking at them now.
I want like a dinosaur, like dino nugget, like ice cube tray.
Christ.
How come fast food places have like better ice cubes than I mean, I don't know about you guys, but at my house the ice cubes are like taste like shit compared to the fast food ice cubes that you get in like a
I feel like it's just because he uses tap water, doesn't it?
At our houses.
I mean, yeah, probably. Oh, unless it's like, but like, what?
Well, might be right.
It's not using sewage. I mean, hopefully.
Fucking piss.
They're putting sugar in the water for you to come back.
You have like you just have an auto ice maker, and then you like open the fridge and they're all brown.
I mean,
chocolate.
Yeah. I feel like you also don't really. I mean,
chocolate flavored ice cubes.
Yeah.
Like, can I say like I hate when like you have like one of those fridges that like makes ice cubes like for you, and then they're not like the typical, like they're not even cubes or anything, not the squares, but they're like these weird like oval looking things. Yeah, they're like these crescent shits, and I hate them. They're the worst. I don't like them.
That's what I have.
Fuck the crescents, dude. Terrible. Yeah, I know, right? It's like as soon as you put it into a crescent form, it just sucks. Somehow, it just is not as good.
It's no longer an ice cube; it's an ice crescent.
Yeah, and that's what makes it suck. It's it changes the flavor.
It's objectively worse.
You ever just like suck on ice, like just like put ice in your mouth?
Nope.
I mean,
I can't
after,
say I
like,
do.
After like a fast food drink, like after you like drink your soda.
Oh, from the like leftover ice.
Yeah, the
Well,
leftover
yeah.
ice, and just like
Yeah.
start eating it. Yeah,
I thought you meant like go to like your fridge, dispense an ice cube, and just stick it in your mouth.
I mean, some people do that. I don't.
I mean, probably there's people who do everything like so.
That's just really uncomfortable though, straight from the freezer. I mean, when it's left over in your drink, then it's fine. But
Yeah, because it's already like half melted, and it's not like it's not a straight like, it's not like frozen to the point where it's like opaque frozen. It's like almost clear frozen now. You know what I'm talking about? Like when it's like opaque, that means it's like that's ice cold. Like it's that's shit hard to break. Man, do you ever just talk about ice cubes for like 15 minutes?
10 minutes. Oh my god. Well, it's a natural progression. First, we talk about water in the last episode. Now we talk about ice. So next episode, we gotta talk about steamy showers and saunas.
Heck
the
yeah.
opposite side of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know it. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, pizza. Pizza's pretty cool. You know.
Did we? Wait, we got to that from pizza. Because we were talking about like microwaves and why microwaves are bad and like
and
how you make
freezers.
things cold and like coffee ice cubes and
trains of thought.
Nice.
Trains of thought are super interesting because like you always like you start somewhere and then you end up at something completely different. Yeah, I feel like it's like a Wikipedia race. You know? Yeah, like have you ever done those?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, have you ever done those Wikipedia races? Those are really cool.
That's like what a train of thought is.
Okay, so basically, you choose a random wiki page, like completely random, like just like a company,
like the
example.
Atomic Age.
Yeah, okay, sure, the Atomic Age, and then you choose something else. Let's see,
John Cena,
perfect. And then what you do is you have to go through the hyperlinks and the references on the Wikipedia page. And then go through and try and get from point A to point B, and you can't go back. It's like you might go from the Atomic Age to it goes to like a certain like
to
thing
like
about
Manhattan Project to the to like World
Manhattan
War II to like United States to like entertainment to like pro wrestling,
exactly,
etc.
Do they have like speed runs of that on YouTube or something?
Oh yeah, they definitely do. It's like it's super interesting. I feel like that's exactly how trains of thought work. Yeah, because it's like, you know, you start talking about one thing and you move over to something stupid just based on something you've said, and then et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh my god, yeah, I just looked it up, and the second top post is Belle Delphine. It's not even her, but somebody just put her in the thumbnail, and you said, I speedrun Wikipedia.
I have a feeling I know exactly who that video is. Who made that video? Is it Ludwig?
Yep.
There it is.
I don't even know who that is, but cool.
A Twitch guy who was a Smash commentator, and then he became like a huge Twitch streamer because like I don't know what he did, but like he just somehow got there.
I want to do a Wikipedia speedrun.
Dude,
that's cool.
Like I mean, we got like 30 minutes left.
We just all like are racing and talking about it, and it's just a mess. It's like
it's just
no one can see anything either. They're just talking about it.
Yeah.
All it is just our mouse is clicking.
It's just like
heavy breathing.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you
what a podcast.
You're talking about speedruns. Have you ever like speedrun a game before? Like any game?
Never ever. I've watched a few of them. To be honest, yeah, I've never done one of those, but my favorite thing about speedruns is watching just people like rage quit speedruns on, I don't know if you guys seen the memes of people doing that, but
oh yeah,
it's hilarious.
Because they spend so much time and they make like one tiny mistake and it screws the whole speedrun, so they just have to like leave it.
Oh yeah. Like,
imagine you're like 3 hours in and the game is like 8 hours long, and then you like accidentally misclick something and the game crashes.
You know what I don't understand? Like, I can understand speedrunning a game like that might take like an hour or 2 hours, like a Mario game or Minecraft or something like that. there's this dude that I watch. Imagine doing a full completion 100% GTA 5 speedrun.
Dude, I haven't even finished
takes like
GTA.
Yeah, me
It's
neither.
20
like-
hours.
Yeah, it's been like
It's ridiculous.
no.
That's insane.
And then just messing up 17 hours in. And it's like, what do you do?
You gotta restart, and that's it.
Yeah, you're fucked
like-
there, dude.
He literally has, like, I think almost 8,000 hours in GTA 5.
Dude.
Like what is also
Worth
like amazing to understand like what it's like amazing to think about is when you see like a game, it's like if you like, for example, Celeste. Have you ever played Celeste? Fuck
No,
yeah.
I
On
haven't.
my list, I own it, but I haven't played it.
You guys at least know what Celeste is.
It's a platform, right?
Okay, it's like a platformer where like there's this like the character's like trying to climb a mountain, right? Basically, and then there's like 7 chapters, and it takes like the average person maybe like 10 to 12 hours to beat the whole game, and like the fastest run is like 14 minutes, and it's crazy. It's like I don't understand. It's like how can you do something so fast? Like to get through fucking
Time, determination, glitches.
dude. There's a guy who was speedrunning Celeste, and it's like a very hard game. That's like the point of it. It's incredibly difficult. And there was a guy who was speedrunning Celeste, but he wasn't using like mouse or keyboard. He wasn't using a controller. He was using a fucking DDR dance pad. And he did it in like 20 minutes. And I'm like, bruh, fucking, I can't even beat the game regularly.
The Dance Revolution pad or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy, dude.
Wow.
Like his
reminds-
legs were
They're-
fucking like fucking muttons. Those things were huge.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube where people play games using like weird things as controllers?
Bananas and stuff.
No,
Mhm.
but, like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I think there's this one YouTuber. I think his name is Basically Homeless.
Yeah, that's who I
And,
was
like-
going to talk about too.
Like he played Overwatch like with things that were like related to the character. It's like I think he played Lucio using DJ decks, and like he played Widowmaker using a motion tracked baguette.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I think in one of them he made like a 1-inch monitor and like tiny mouse and keyboard or whatever, and tried to play on that. It was hilarious.
That's illegal.
I think he tried to. There was one game that he tried to play with one button. I think he tried
Oh,
to play
yeah.
Rainbow Six Siege with one button.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
It's like you press it once to move forward, press it twice to shoot, and like 3 times to look left.
Morse code.
That's crazy. Like, okay, like it's just something that like blows my mind. You know how much time people put into that shit.
Yeah,
Like-
speedrunning, I could never have the commitment to do anything more than
Yeah.
like an hour long.
I don't know how anybody does, to be honest.
You have to be like very committed to it and like really want it, because I just can't see myself sitting there playing the same game over and over and over
Yeah,
just to like get a record.
and
Actually,
also,
you know what? Sorry, I'm going
No,
to
okay.
interrupt. I lied earlier when you first asked this question. I just realized that I used to speedrun like against myself on like my personal world records
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the Mario Kart on the Game Boy, I think, the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
Oh,
I used to speedrun Rainbow Road against myself and try to beat my personal records like all the time, and I would spend so much time on that, and it was so much fun. That was when I was really young, like I don't know, 7 or 8 maybe. I don't remember when, but I did that a lot.
Yeah, shit like that. It's always like really fun, especially like if you actually get a really good time. It's always like the most satisfying shit when you like shave off like an entire second or whatever off your
Yeah,
off
and
your
you have
best
to find
time.
like all the shortcuts and everything
Yeah.
you can do.
Like I'm surprised like people spend so much time like speedrunning and whatever, and it's like you don't really get much out of it. Do you get like the satisfaction, but it's not like you've spent like maybe thousands of hours on like one particular game, but it's not like you're not. Yeah, I guess you're not making anything like monetarily out of it. It's like it just shows. Like,
especially so for like things that aren't very well known. Like if you're, speed running Grand Theft Auto, it's not like everyone really is gonna know.
yeah.
But at least it's like a popular game, and when you look up Grand Theft Auto speedrun, you see that person. But like if you're spending hundreds of hours speedrunning some indie game that like no
Cooking
one has
Mama
ever heard of,
two for the
sure,
DS.
it's a good thing that you're supporting an indie game or a game that has just completely flopped or just no one cares about anymore. But like, why? Like, okay, who's looking up Cooking Mama speedruns?
I mean,
I'm
funny
looking
enough,
it up now. One sec.
dude. People actually like. I think it was some YouTuber was like, I'm gonna speedrun a game that has never been speedrun before and guarantee the top spot. And then like they picked Cooking Mama 2, and then like after that video went up, there were like 200 additional runs like added within a week, which was nuts.
There are, for the most recent Cooking Mama game released in 2020 for the Nintendo Switch, there are 5 speedruns on speedrun.com. The fastest being 3 hours, 35 minutes, and 20 seconds. Followed very, very shortly by 3 hours, 35 minutes, and 32 seconds. Imagine losing to the world record by 2 seconds on Cooking Mama Cookstar Nintendo Switch.
You gotta play it again.
Do it again.
Dude, I love like when speedrunners like optimize like glitches and shit like that, because that's super cool to see. When like I think I remember looking. You guys ever heard of Outlast? The like horror game. Yeah. I remember like when I looked up like the speedrun like the stats for it, and I was like, and the speedrun time was like 6 minutes, and I was like, that cannot be right. There's no fucking way. And like literally like 20 seconds into the game, like how you like in the story you like pull up to the whatever, the asylum, and then you walk out through the gate. Like literally 20 seconds in, he walks through the gate and then finds a way, jumps over a wall, falls through, and then he's like at the end of the game. It's like it's insane. It's so like funny. It's like, how do you find this stuff? It's crazy.
Like for
it's
newer games, it's kind of interesting. What was even weirder is like older games, like the Game Boy Mario and stuff like that. Like people were using like bit writing and stuff. Like you stand in a specific pixel perfect location, like press a bunch of like keys to like write something to the memory of the system that would like give it a command to teleport. It's like wild.
Crazy.
It's just like, and then there's like, strategies that are like too risky. And it's like, if it's a risky strat 15 minutes in, then it's worth trying it every time. But if it's, 3 hours into the speed run and it could potentially just make or break the run, it's like, do I take it? Do I not?
Yeah.
Speedrunning is wild.
Indeed. I can. All right. Want to talk about music? Since that's kind of like what the
since
show's
we're already
about.
halfway in.
We're already halfway in.
Really?
We talked about we're halfway in. Talked about ice and speedruns.
It's flown by.
Yeah, like fucking
great conversation.
Yeah, clearly, like this is everybody loves this show. Like,
riveting.
Yeah, riveting stuff. Everybody comes here for the greatest conversations. All right, I guess like we can talk about like, I mean, what like I guess initially got you into music and like, just
it's on Holo. So basically,
yeah, like I mean like electronic music or like music as like a whole.
Oh, electronic. Well, no, electronic music was probably I got into like Monster Cat stuff like a long time ago when I was watching Minecraft videos on YouTube back when those were really popular.
Let's go.
So like people would have like a lot of YouTubers would have like the Monster Cat songs as their intro or outro music. And so I was like, I got hooked by that. And then later on, I guess I'll tell you the story of how I got into making music myself. I was just looking up a Clash of Clans tutorial for like how to build the best bass. And so the background it was just like a no talking tutorial, and the background music was "We Rise," I think, by Sound Hello. I was like,
Hmm.
oh my god, this is amazing. And so I had to like, I just took a deep dive into Sound Hello's discography, listening to all his stuff, and got into like bitbird and all that stuff. And basically I was doing homework one night and I just couldn't focus because I was listening to it. I was like, I started looking up like how to make your own music, and I was looking at all this software, and I was like, wow, I could do this. I could actually do this. This will. And the funny thing is, I was like, this is gonna be really easy too. Because before I played piano, I've been playing piano for like 10 years, and so I was like, I already know how to play music, so making music shouldn't be that hard. And I was like, little did I know it would actually be extremely difficult to make a good song.
I mean, yeah, it's like you think it's like, well, you think it's like easy. Like, I mean, when I was a kid, I was like playing instruments and shit, and I thought like, oh, writing music shouldn't be too hard. It's like fucking you just do what I do now, but like with different things.
Yeah.
But it's like I can't pull those different things from anywhere but my own head, right? And then I'm like thinking, well, that would sound cool. It's like, but you know, that's just the thing that I've been playing for like the past year or whatever.
Yeah,
It's
and
like,
you have all these ideas in your head for what a song could sound like and what you want it to sound like, but when you actually get in the DAW and you have to put it together yourself and do everything, it's so time consuming and difficult to actually lay it out and get it done.
yeah, stuff's like it's always like really weird, especially like if you're I feel like with DAWs in particular, it's very hard to transition to a DAW if you've been you know, like if you've been at least like learning with like sheet music and stuff like that, because it's like it's a very much a different setup completely. It's like, you know,
Oh yeah.
Well, even going from DAW to DAW, it's fairly difficult too.
Mm-hmm.
So I initially learned on Logic, and like I still feel like an ape when I'm using FL.
Yeah, I started on a free DAW called LMMS. It
Oh
was
my god.
what
I
did you
used to use LMMS. Yep.
cool. Yeah,
I have
I
so
started
many
on that.
projects that I should go back and retrieve from that though.
Yeah, me too. I actually have the really old laptop that I use for it. It's sitting in my closet next to me. I haven't I haven't opened that thing in so long, but it has all my old projects on it. I should probably go look at it too. But yeah, I started on that. And then I moved to Logic, and then a couple years later, or maybe just like a year later, I moved to Ableton, and I've been on Ableton since.
rad. So like, how long would you say you've been making music for?
I started in like, I guess I really started in like January of 2016, so a little over 5 years now.
Hmm. Okay. So like oh, it's like it's weird to think to me that like 2016 is like 5 years ago already. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like it, because it's like, you know, I was gonna say like, oh, so you've been like started producing like fairly recently, and I'm like, no, it's actually not that recent. And I think about it, that's like a half a decade.
Yeah,
Um,
that's exactly how I feel now.
yeah, because it's like, you know, I'll think of songs that like I remember coming out like then, and I'll be like, oh, that didn't come out that long ago, and I'm like, oh wait,
That's 7 years ago.
yeah, it's
Like what?
you're like, since when? Or like you'll fucking like I remember songs coming out in 2019. And I'm like, they weren't that long ago, right? And it's like, oh, it's almost 2 years now. Or 2018, it's like 3. Or like I'll watch like something on like YouTube, and I'm like, I remember like, oh, I'll go back and watch something on YouTube, and I'm like, this isn't that old, is it? And it's like fucking like 11 years ago, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? No.
I'm curious what sort of content from 11 years ago you're watching.
Okay, you know, that's a bit of an exaggeration, obviously. But, I mean, 11 years ago is only like 2010. It's not that long.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
it's weird.
Yeah,
that's
I
so
know,
weird.
right? It's like, think
Time
about
be
it,
like,
dude. The kids that are 11 years old were born to 2010. Think about that.
Have you
That's
seen
so
next
weird.
Have you
generation of
seen that
Minecrafters.
meme? Have you seen that meme that's like in I don't remember what it was. Was it like in It was like in 7 years it'll be. I need to find it. It was so good. It was just like some really bad math.
I don't know. Fucking. It's just like weird because it's just weird to think about. Like Minecraft is older than 6th graders. Minecraft is in like the 7th grade right now, maybe 8th grade, or like something like that.
Jesus,
That's like
that's when I started playing. I mean, that's not when it came out for me when I started playing it, but that's like when I started playing it. It was in 6th or 7th grade.
yeah, it's like
Crazy.
it's really weird. Like I'm wondering like that's probably how like it's felt like for. I feel like it's just our age range. Like we're now like starting to experience that for the first time because it's
Oh
yes,
yeah,
it's like
dude. To be honest, I'm really starting to realize like I'm starting to get old, especially because of this new Forum All Nighter compilation that came out last
Yeah.
Saturday. Like a ton of the producers on this compilation are like 15, 16, even like 14 years old. I'm like, and they're
Yeah.
making amazing music. And I'm like, holy shit.
I feel like
This is crazy.
everybody over the age of like 25 is getting mad at us for like talking about how like we're getting old and shit. We're like out
Yeah.
here like we're barely like past 20.
Bro, I am like, I'm just 20 and I feel like I'm a fucking ancient.
Dog, it's interesting. It's like it's very weird how like time works. I feel like it's also interesting because I feel like now or like the further you get like generational wise, it's like the like more like younger and younger people can get like better at doing more advanced things.
It's because
Like
there's more accessibility to like
Yeah.
information and such through
Mhm.
internet.
Exactly. I mean, like if you go back like 120 years ago, fucking people our age were learning the multiplication table. Now that's something you learn in like kindergarten or like 1st grade. You know?
It's wild. Yeah, I mean, I also think part of it is Discord, to be honest, because Discord is just such a huge, it has such a huge producer community on it now.
Oh
And
yeah.
so all these kids learn like from each other, I think, and from other people about how to get better at producing, basically. And I think that's how they progress so fast.
Yeah, because it's like it's also really a really good tool like to just meet people, like especially meet people that are interested in the same things that you are. Because like when you're going to school and shit, you're definitely not like chances are like if you're a nerd about something, you're not really gonna find a huge group of people that are a nerd about that exact same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
I feel like everybody like I feel like every one of us has gone through a little bit of like being the weird like little like dubstep kid, like and
The
and
weird little dubstep kid.
like no
That
one
was me in
really
high
gets it.
school.
Yeah, same here, man. No one really gets it. But like then you go to Discord and now you have like servers
Community
full of
the
like
weird
yeah.
little dubstep kids.
But you have like you have like servers of like 15,000 people sometimes, like of just everybody likes this same thing, and it's like
Exactly.
it's crazy. It's like instead of like you maybe find one kid in the entire school, and you don't really like this kid that much, but like they like the thing that you like, so you just become friends with them anyway. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's like now
I mean,
now you
we
got a
have
choice.
We have a community of like 150 people who like what music? Pizza.
God knows. God knows. I don't know.
Why do people watch these?
Community.
That's
What
a
are you
really
talking
good
about?
question. What do you mean? Huh? Yeah, I mean like our servers popping. Join our Discord by the way if you're listening. We need shit popping in here. But
The
like
Discord server that we are currently on and recording through right now.
yeah, crazy. But yeah, it's always interesting like to see, just how the internet can unite people, I guess.
It's all the introverts coming together. We
I
become
know, right?
extroverts here. It's like it seems like.
Exactly. I mean, I met Eswyn through Discord, pretty much.
You
I was
did?
like yeah. So like, and that's cool. Cause there's like fucking
I met
why go
a ton
outside?
of the people that I know through music on Discord.
It's like
It's insane.
it's definitely interesting because like now you also have like the ability to become friends with like people in other fucking parts of the world. You know, your bubble is able to expand further than like just your community.
I mean, like, yeah, you're California,
yeah, and like fucking
right?
yeah. I'm like
I'm in Chicago.
like
Arizona.
100 years ago, I would be like, cool. I know everybody on my street, and that's like it. Maybe I know somebody else on the other side of Los Angeles. Wow, that's like the farthest it would go. And then like one of my friends would like move to fucking, I don't know, Bakersfield or some shit, and then that's like the farthest it would like ever expand. And then now it's like, oh yeah, I was like, oh yeah, it's like I got some friends over in Germany. He's like, no fucking no sweat. You know what I'm saying? It's
Pen pal.
yeah, it's like pen pals were like the closest thing, and it's like that's still something that's like I'm pretty sure was like somewhat rare, like to do. You know, it's like
Oh yeah, I never even did that at like ever at one of my schools. I just heard about it.
I remember like we did like a pen pal thing, but we never like actually fucking we never like continued exchanging letters.
Maybe they did, but you know, we just didn't. What if
Imagine
you
just,
ignored your pen pal? What'd you say, Swirl?
I was just say, imagine just like a couple of pen pals that just like hate each other. They just shit talk each other in the letters.
That's a movie right there.
It just
Somebody
came through my mind, and I thought it was funny.
somebody just like sending a letter, and it takes like a week to like 2 weeks to arrive, and it like they just open it up and it just says your mom. That's it.
To that point, imagine, like, think about this. Like, you know, the internet is a new thing, and things needed to travel to spread the news. It's like long time ago when mail carriers were on horses. If like a city was attacked,
We would have no idea until like
no idea until like 2 weeks later, and it's like send reinforcements. It's like neither the mailman or the president or whoever knows if that city even still exists.
No, I have a question.
Well,
When's
yeah,
the
go
last time you sent a piece of mail, like a letter or anything,
Christmas cards.
other than that?
fucking I have no clue. I
Yeah,
I
I
don't
can't
think I
even-
could name
I don't
it.
know.
Dude, I had to send a letter for the first time in like literally like over 2 years to my professor because he wanted us to like physically write the exams and then mail it to him.
Why? Just yeah. Why?
That's
'Cause
a
he wanted
power
physical
move.
Copy. I don't know.
Okay.
That's just
could've
a
just
power
picked
move. Dude. Fucking
Power
So
move.
weird. I mean, he's an older dude, but like, come on. There's the internet now. You can take a picture and email it, but if you wanted a physical copy,
oh yeah. Well, you'd be like, oh, the photoshops. You know, it's like what not.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind doing that too, just to save the trouble of printing. Like, why not? Yeah, just make all my students mail it to me.
Yeah. What if it just
I
gets
had
lost
that
in the
hard
mail
time.
though? Like, what if it gets lost in the mail? Like, what are you
bro, I
gonna
had to
do?
go buy a stamp.
Give them an F.
I had to go to the post office and buy stamps. Who does that? Also, post office people, their jobs suck. I feel so bad for them. Like, I was standing in line and like I'm telling you, like, I can't believe like people in the post office who actually go and like mail stuff. It's like mostly old people, and they take forever, and then they always do something wrong, and then the lady has to send them back.
Yeah.
And like they have so many guidelines and shit like that. And then the lady who was taking the mail at the time, she's like, I've been here since fucking 7 a.m. It's currently 3 p.m. I haven't had a lunch break, nothing. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Dude.
That reminds me, the last time I went was during the holidays, and all the workers were dressed up as like elves and stuff.
Oh no.
It was complete chaos in there. Like, it was just as you described, like all these old people and everything's going wrong. It's packed. And then
It's like-
when I go up there to talk to the guy, he's like, he just tries to get done with me like as fast as possible. And he
Exactly.
looks miserable in his little elf costume.
I feel like being a postal worker must like really test your patience, like to an unimaginable degree.
No, like I said, like everything, there's like certain guidelines, and like everything has to be perfect. Because if one thing is wrong, then you get like shit talks and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, like,
So-
also, like, even if fucking, like, even, like, just the mail carriers, like, not even the people that work in the post office, like, have to deal with so much shit with, like, it's like, yeah, it's
They
like
have-
fucking,
When it's like raining, snow, it's like, sure, it doesn't seem like that bad because they just drive around and drop off mail. But you got to think about the fact that they're on a tight schedule, and they don't get days off. I mean,
Also, they can't do it too fast or too slow. They have to do it like a certain speed, because if they're too fast, they're just gonna give them more mail.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is like, yeah, you can, like, they have days off because they don't work 24/7 every single day. But like, if it's raining that day, they can't just not deliver that mail
yeah.
unless
True.
it's like
And in
now.
places where it's snowing and like, or like Arizona, where it's like ridiculously hot, doing that all day, rough.
Oh yeah, I
So-
feel so bad for the people delivering in Arizona during the summer. Like I see them all the time during the summer. It's terrible.
Dude,
The way you
like,
worded that, I thought you were gonna say like places where it's snowing, like Arizona. I'm like, hold on,
No, no.
no.
Like Canada, like imagine like having to deliver mail in Canada. Like,
yeah. And then on top of that, you got to deal with, like, all the people that are like, I was expecting my package today. It's like, where is it? Yeah, you stole it. And I'm fucking, they're like, no, it's just, I don't have it. I promise. I'm literally just a messenger.
Yeah, like I mean, that's literally where the saying "Don't shoot the messenger" comes from.
Yeah. They
What
gotta,
is the saying? Don't shoot the messenger. Or-
it's basically like when you hear bad news,
Yeah.
it's not my fault. I'm just telling you.
yeah. It's really like, it's weird stuff. Fucking, yeah. I would rather, like, I give a lot of, like, condolences to postal workers, but fuck people who work at the DMV.
Bro, actually, I went to the DMV and they were really nice to me. Maybe I just got lucky.
Yeah, I mean,
But, like,
well, they're
holy shit.
like, they act like, for me, it's like they're nice, but they make you jump through so many hoops.
It's because there's so many procedures and protocols. Like I said, like
Yeah.
everything has to be perfect because it is like a governmental thing, right?
Yeah,
They can't
that's-
have you driving a car with like something wrong, you know?
Yeah, that's true. But, like, I mean, I had to wait, like, one day, fucking, like, I did the entire thing, and then, like, I didn't, like, have my glasses that day, and they were, like, gonna make me do, like, a vision test, and I'm like, I didn't have my glasses, so I couldn't do it. And so they were like, okay, yeah, come back tomorrow, and then you'll be, like, expedited to the front of the line. I'm like, okay, that's great. And I had to wait another 4 hours just to read a couple letters on the board.
Oh
I'm
my
like-
god.
And just, that's all I had to do. And they were just gonna, I just had to do that and leave. That was
No
it.
lie, during that vision test, because I had to do the same thing, I like for a second forgot the word for O because I saw zero.
The
I don't
word
know.
for O.
Wait,
I don't know. I just had like a brain like I just could not remember the word O. And like the lady just like looked
It's a
at me
letter.
and she asked me if like I was foreign. I'm like, yes, but like I've lived here all my life. I don't know why the fuck I forgot the like word for O.
What do you mean the word for O? Why are you
I
saying
mean
the
the
word?
letter. The letter. Like I just didn't remember that was the like the
You didn't-
term.
For what O was called.
Bro, I was about to say zero like that. I don't know why. It was just like maybe in the moment when I was reading them, I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, you should just have been like Q, but without that little tick.
She would have been like, all right, you're
It's
done.
it's a legless Q.
No, but we started laughing. It was all good, but it was really fucking funny.
Dude, have you ever had that where you like just miss, like, you just forget how to spell something, and like you're just like, it's like something really easy, but you're just like, wait, you just blank.
Yeah, I mean, I have words that I can never remember how to spell, like receive. I never know if the I comes before the E or whatever.
I heard
It's
that
like-
with length and what's it called? Yeah, definitely. I spell definitely wrong every single time. Doesn't matter how many. I'll even spell it right the first time and then change it.
So that made me think. A good conversation topic. Do you have any really good random like brain fart moment stories? Just like
Okay.
yeah.
I guess I have one sort of. I mean, no, it's not really recent. I guess it was last summer. I just remember it so well because I just started laughing at myself when it happened. I was eating dinner with my family, and then I went to go toast like a bun because I think we're having like uh, hot dogs or something, or brats. I can't remember. It was something with a bun, and so I went to go toast the bun at the toaster as you do, and I put it in, and I just sat there for like maybe like 10 minutes, just waiting for this thing to toast while my family was eating, and my family finished eating, and I was like, wait. I looked at the toaster and the toaster wasn't plugged in, and I just been sitting there for like 10 minutes just waiting for this bun to toast. I was like, oh my god. Yeah, that was my brain fart moment.
You were
You
just
fucking-
like so checked out. You were just like just waiting, and then you're
That's
not
like-
even thinking about it.
Those are like the best. You ever had like a moment where you go to put like your laundry in the washing machine and then you don't turn it on, you just leave. you just forget. And you come back like 30 minutes later when you think it's supposed to be done, and then it's like it's not even on, and you're like, oh shit.
One time I went to I didn't actually do it, but I was going over to after I got home from work to toss like a receipt in the trash, and the keys in the little key thing that I put the keys in. And I almost just walked up, tossed the keys in the trash, and left.
I've done the same thing like
I
8
caught
times.
myself as I was about to do it.
I've done that so many times too. It's so bad.
Yeah, it's fucking worst. All right, we should probably talk a little bit about music before the hour is up. You know, so like
Okay.
we gotta meet our quota, so our audience doesn't get mad. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine
Yeah, I
being mad.
Imagine being mad at us for this. I mean,
I remember-
I
like,
would tell you anything.
I feel like
I
I would
remember
be.
30 minutes ago when you said we were going to start talking about music, and I don't
And
know,
then
we
we-
talked about it for like a minute, and then
Yeah,
it
You
went
know,
off to
I
something else.
realized that. So now we're gonna actually. I guess we could talk about Oh, you said you were like working on like all nighter, right? You were doing a.
I did.
track for-
I made a track, but it did not make it on the compilation, sadly. But yeah, it's okay.
Unlucky, but like you definitely like. How was that experience? You think? Because did you work on
Oh,
any
that
of
was
like the
really fun.
previous? Did you do any of the previous all nighters, or was this like your first?
This was my first time, so I had no idea what to expect. I was expecting to not be able to do it, but I actually got an idea down pretty fast. I just started like humming a melody into the mic, and then that sort of became my song. Like the first sort of drop section was just me humming a melody. It was actually really similar to the song "Lily Pads" by Drew Lou, if you know that one.
Oh yeah.
Sort of like that. It was sort of like that.
Yeah.
And then I just went from there, and I turned in my song like 20 minutes before the deadline. I was working on it all night. I actually pulled the all nighter for it. I made myself like this huge cup of soup. I made myself this huge cup of Death Wish coffee at
Oh
like
yeah.
10
Was that,
p.m.
like, super strong coffee?
I know,
Yeah,
Victor.
I made
you
myself
used to
like
have
that at
those.
10 p.m.
Yeah, Victor used to drink those frequently, didn't you?
Yeah, because the place that I worked at, because right across from my college is like a cheesecake place, and I started working there, and that was like the first time I ever discovered Death Wish, and that shit is really good. But man, double shotting that, fuck, you're gonna have like a heart attack. I swear.
It kept me up all night. It worked. I wasn't tired until like 7 when I was just like finishing up the song. It was fun though. It's super fun. Even though I didn't get on, it was worth it just to be able to say
Just-
that I did that because I don't know, I had never done something like that before.
Yeah, because
I
it
mean,
probably
it's a learning experience.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It's definitely like now it's like you have the ability to put like 24 hour or like to sit down and like write something in 24 hours, right?
Yeah, because usually I'm like super slow when I'm writing a song. It usually takes forever for me to get like one little section down to how I like to sound good and for me to like it. But to have that 24-hour constraint, you just have to keep going and write the rest of the song and just disregard the imperfections that you usually fix, I guess.
Okay, if you could say like, what do you think was like the most important thing that you learned while working on like the all-nighter?
That's a tough one. The most important thing I learned? Just, I don't know. I guess just to go with. God, this is really hard to answer. Just to go with your instincts, I guess. I don't know. Just go with the flow. Don't think about. Don't think about like. I don't know. I don't know, dude.
That's
I guess
okay. You
just go with your
don't
instincts.
you don't need an
I
answer.
don't know what I learned.
If you don't,
Words are hard.
yeah, you don't have to learn anything. It's fine. That's what you learned. It's like learning.
I learned.
Yeah, you learned something.
I don't know how to
like,
put it in words though.
You learned something, but like, yeah, it's like that's enough.
Not everything that you learn needs to be for everyone else. I mean,
Yeah.
You learn something about how you work, how you do things, and that's
Exactly.
Yeah. So
I was just trying to find like a more smart way to say than I just learned how to work quicker, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Fucking, that's like probably the best possible outcome. It's like you just learn how to work with whatever you do best.
Yeah, I mean it's the whole point. The
Working
thing.
with constraints is just a very good exercise in general. Like not even with just music, just with anything. Putting constraints on something and trying to do it is just it's a good learning experience.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're reaching around like the end of our hour here. So,
Are we?
I think so. We're like at the 50 where are we at exactly? We're at the 59-minute mark. Crazy. We've been talking about
Okay.
a little bit of everything here. So like I guess do you have any like I guess last words for anybody listening? Doesn't have to be anything important. Just like,
Sounds
anything.
like a threat.
Oh yeah, I shouldn't have phrased it like that. You're right.
I guess follow me on SoundCloud. I don't know.
Shit.
That's all I gotta say.
You want to plug pretty much everything you got?
Pretty much every URL is SHWIRL with 3 L's. So just twitter.com SHWIRL with 3 L's, Instagram SHWIRL with 3 L's. But the actual username is just SHWIRL Music, I think. But yeah, just follow me.
All right. I'll throw it for everybody listening. Everything will be down in the description for SHWIRL as well as for myself, Eswyn and Victor, and the podcast as a whole. Please, join our Discord, check out the rest of our episodes, go listen to all of SHWIRL's music, and fucking if you go do that, if you didn't know who SHWIRL was, comment like what your favorite song by SHWIRL is. Wild. Okay.
All right.
I guess on that note, like we'll just we'll end the episode here. So, yeah, thank you everybody so much for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
Ice cubes.